freshmen. Do you like to see that out of them?
Yeah, I want them to talk trash to me because when we get out on the floor and get the other competition, they'll be the same way and they'll be ready for that. And they know that I have their back with that. And I'm like, okay, I got y'all. So I'm just happy that I'm bringing that out of them and just being able to be there for them.
I know you talked about going back to Baltimore this summer.
Yes.
With Juju, do you kind of train with him after this?
Oh yeah, I love my brother. I mean, I was just texting him. Being able to see his growth as well. I mean, this is his 3rd year in college, and his game has definitely elevated. And just understanding, I'm super happy for him, and I'm excited to see his career this year at Maryland.
You gotta be excited about that game in Baltimore.
I know. Going back home to Coppin State. I mean, my auntie went there. My auntie graduated from there. Yeah. So just being able to go, Yeah, she played ball out there. She played ball there. Just being able to go back home in the city of Baltimore, it's already, I think, sold out already. Just being able to see so many people texting me, asking me for tickets. I don't know how many people I can get tickets for, but I know it's going to be a homecoming. I don't know who they're going to be cheering for, but I'm excited.
Have you learned to say no a little bit more?
No, not really. It's hard to say no. Like, I don't try to disappoint anybody. Like, especially when it comes to pictures. Like, I try to take pictures of as many people as I can, but sometimes I gotta say no. I can say no to NIL deals because if I don't feel like doing it, I'm too tired and I won't do it. But it's hard. It is hard saying no.
Yeah, Kim talked about that with us. Just you being happy to be back here because it's less.
Yeah, it's less.
Is that real?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like being here and I love the schedule that I'm on. I mean, being able to come and practice, being able to work out and just have fun with the team. I don't have no sisters, so these are my sisters. Like, these are like my safe place, my safe space and my home and my family. So I'm just happy to be home with my family and just be here.
With NIL deals, does everybody expect you to pick up the check at the restaurant?
Huh? I mean, I don't mind. I mean, I pay for the girls. I pay for the girls. Everybody get their makeup done for media day. Like, I'm always there for my girls. I mean, freshman year, I know it's tough managing money, and especially if they're not getting NIL, I'll pay for whatever. I don't care.
What did you learn so much so quick?
To have a community like LSU and just being able to come back and do this for LSU. I mean, I've talked to Simone, I've talked to Sylvia, and they told me that they wanted to always win a national championship, and being able to hug them hug Simone after the game and just tell them we did it. Like, we did it for you guys and did it for the people before us. So I was happy, and I know I'm guessed to buy you Barbie.
You always talk about, even though your numbers were pretty astronomical last year, you want to get better.
Yeah.
What are the things this season you're sort of like on court? I know you've talked about being even more of a leader, but just your game.
Yeah, just being able to score outside of the paint, being able to. I worked a lot on my turnaround jump shot, shots at the mid-range shot. I mean, today I was shooting threes, so Coach Mulkey doesn't limit me, and just being able to have a coach that doesn't limit me and understands that I have to leave here someday, and she knows that she wants to get me better and get me better for the next level. So just being able to work with Coach Starkey and then as a post coach, and then also work with Coach G as a guard coach, I think that kind of helps me a lot. And understanding that if I don't get better within my game, I can't help the team, and I know that's just going to be important for them.
How misconceived is your? I'm sorry, Emma. How misconceived is your relationship with Caitlin Clark?
Say it again.
Misconceived. How misconceived?
Oh, I love Caitlin. I mean, we were just talking about that. Me and her have always been competing each other since we were in high school and just AAU days. I mean, I love that, and hopefully one day we can even be teammates. And just understand that she's a great player, a great person, a great shooter, and I just love everything that she's doing for the game and what we both were able to do for the game as well.
How cool was it to see her come to bat for you?
Yeah.
After the national.
Yeah, I mean, everybody thinks that we're at each other, but me and her know, and that's all that matters. I don't care about anything that's negative. When you know the person and you know that what their genuine intentions are, and just being able to know that we did something big, and just being able to know we grew women's basketball within that, and that's all that matters. And we play against each other again. We're going to compete again and always have fun after. So I'm just having fun, just being competitive as I always have.
How have you sort of navigated? You talk about brand, but that's a still new thing for college athletes.
Yeah.
I know you work with Jen on that, but how have you figured out this is the Angel Reese brand for lack of, and these are the kind of things that I want to do. And I'll say no to some things, but these are the other things.
The lady I work with, I'm not signed with the agency, but the lady that I work with, Janine Obanaya, she does a really great job helping me balance a lot of this stuff. I mean, I do have to say no, and I have to tell people, or she would tell people that I'm here at LSU. When it's time for me to be here at LSU, I can't travel. Like, I have to do things here. If y'all want to come here and do things, then we can do things here, and that's just what it is. That's the only time I really can say no to things. I mean, all summer I've done things because I had USA basketball, but I didn't have much else to do in the summer. So just being able to have a balanced schedule and have somebody that really works with me, and my mom also helps me a lot with that.
Caitlin said yesterday when it comes to the 5th year, she said it's going to be a gut decision, almost like her heart is going to decide it as much as anything else. I know you want to just focus on this year, but do you think it'll come down to similar to you?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it'll come down to whatever the best decision is for me. I mean, Coach Mulkey will sit down and have that conversation. She understands and she knows what's best for me, and my opinion and her opinion is going to be valued. And of course, my family, my mom has always been my backbone, and just knowing what's best for my career. I think that's just what's going to be important, and just being able to see how we finish out the season. If there's more that I want to do, then that's what I want to do. If not, I feel like I got to go, then I got to go. So I'm just focusing on the season and just having fun while I can, because you don't get this college experience back. And being at LSU, if I was a regular student, I'm coming to LSU to have a good time.
We didn't do this last year.
Say it again?
We didn't do this last year.
No, we didn't. We did it I remember we did it in the locker room, right? It was tight, it was packed in there, it was a lot going on. So
if last year was piecing it together, what is this year?
dig deep roots. That's our new thing this year. Everything that's going on the outside, a lot of people think that we're worried about NIL, all the talent, all the personalities, but if we're going to dig deeper than that and just being able to put all the ingredients within the tree so that we can build a tree and let it blossom. So just being able to stick together and know that we have each other's back and just everybody playing their role and being there for each other, I think that's what's going to be important.
To that point, I think a lot of people initially, right out the gate against Colorado, they're expecting big numbers from you, Anissa, Hailey Van Lith, Flau'jae. Are you guys anticipating it taking?
I mean, I feel like everybody right now knows what we bring to the table, and everybody understands their role. Of course, the first game is we have 2 exhibition games before that, so that's going to kind of help. But Colorado's going to be a good team, and they're going to be ready for us for sure. But like I said earlier, everybody's going to have to sacrifice something. We're all great players. We all can score 30 a night if we wanted to. I mean, Anissa and Hailey, that's what they did at their old school. So just understanding everybody's role and what we can do to make the team better and what's best for the team, I think is going to be important.
Talking with the new girls, big personalities feels like a code word, right? So like, how much are you loving kind of dispelling like the myth around LSU women's basketball versus the reality? Like both Hailey and Anissa, like you have this image, but when you get inside, you see it different.
You have fun. I mean, I feel like everybody's so competitive and we push each other every day. I think you don't ever see a system or a program where everybody just wants to get better, and we can take constructive criticism. Like I can say something to you, like you need to run harder on that play. Like I can tell Leah, you need to run harder on that play, and she'll be like, all right, I got you. And the next play, I can see her running hard, and just being able to understand that we just want the best out of each other. And I think we can pull and pull and pull out of each other. I think that's just something that's different about our program.
Is the dig deeper part of the idea that this is going to be more target on LSU's back because you're starting number one and everything? Does it dig deeper about that a little bit, because it will be a sort of a different journey than last year?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be different. We're going to have a lot of outsiders, of course, that we really can't get into. I think that as long as we focus on within the team and just understanding that we have each other's back and just knowing what's going on within the locker room, I think we'll be fine. I mean, I think we did a lot of that last year because the people said our schedule was weak. So just being able to not to block out the noise, but always just be there within each other and understanding with each other and just being able to have each other's back and digging deep roots is just what we're going to go by this year.
Just start thinking about transferring, and then what went to your head, like, this is why I need to do this?
I think transferring for me was a very thought out but last minute decision. It wasn't until at least probably 2 weeks after LSU even won the national championship that I decided I think it would be best for me to enter the transfer portal. I had the idea pop in my head, but emotionally I was very tied to my teammates at Louisville, but just individually the best thing for me and my personal well-being, my happiness, my basketball development was to transfer.
What appealed to you about LSU? I mean, I'm sure you watched them during the year, but what did you just all the way through? What finally struck you? Man, it looks like I want to play there.
Yeah, I actually said that several times throughout the season. Even when I didn't know I was transferring here yet, it was like, man, I want to play on that team. Just like the energy that the coaches coach with, the energy Coach Mulkey brings to the court, the energy the assistants bring to the court, the energy the girls, the attitude the girls play with. I think, the culture of the team really drew me in, but then obviously getting a chance to play for one of the best point guards ever and Coach Mulkey and learn from her is something that's really valuable to me. And then, the fans here like no other. I'm the type of player that loves to play in front of a big crowd and entertain, as you would say. So yeah, those would probably be 3 things.
Were you surprised at the reaction when you did hit the portal?
Honestly, I don't engage on social media at this point in my career. You know, there's every level of opinion. There's people that were really for it and really against it, and so, you know, you can't swing either way too much. So I just focused on the people around me, the coaches I had around me, my parents, my family, my friends, and they were all supportive of it, so that's all that I cared about.
Kim recruited you at Baylor. What was the difference then that made you go to Louisville? And what do you remember about that recruiting process?
I think out of high school, the system at Baylor was a little bit different. You know, it was set up in a way that I would have been playing with 2 super dominant bigs and Alyssa Smith. I think they had Alyssa, like Queen Agbo, like they were very big. And me coming in, in the past years, her offense, you know, guards were it was a pretty one-dimensional offense. You know, we're getting into the post, and that was working for them. That was great. So I knew that's probably the style of play I would have been coming into, and I just don't fit well into that. My style of play is different, and so I think at that time, with the system Baylor had, I wouldn't have been a good fit. It wasn't anything like, it was so hard for me to tell Coach Mulkey no. And she knew it. She knew it wasn't anything with her. Like, our connection, you know, stayed fresh. We didn't talk while I was at Louisville, but the minute I called her when I was in the portal, it was like we talked every day since Baylor. So, yeah, I mean, that was why out of high school, but everything happens for a reason.
What's the difference now?
I think the system here is a little bit more open. Even the bigs that I am playing with, they're a little bit more versatile. They can play the perimeter, come off the block. So the system that the team has and the flow and the style of play fits me a little bit better. And I'm also in a position where I'm going to be able to play multiple positions, so I have the capability to step out and play the 1 now, where if I would have went to Baylor out of high school, I don't know if I would have been ready to step up and play the 1.
So now that you're here and you got your teammates, what do you think about these girls that you're playing with? A lot of the talk last year was that they were really getting after it and a lot more physical than I think people thought they were going to be. You seem like a girl that can scrap. How excited are you to kind of mix it up with these?
Like inter squad scrimmages?
Yeah, I mean, now that you're working with them and working against them in practice. Yeah,
I think, you know, for us, in the level of talent we have, there's going to be a lot of times where our practices are going to be much harder than the competition we're playing in games, and that's all you can ask for, right? Like, that's going to prepare us. We're not always going to be looking at the opponent across from us. We're going to be looking at us and how to make us better, and I think that mentality is going to make a difference in the long run for us.
A weekend under Coach Mulkey, how has it been for you?
You know, it's a process. She's a great coach. I have a lot to learn from her. She is fiery, but I can match her fire for fire, that's for sure. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm already learning a lot. But yeah, it's just I'm taking it day by day, not getting too far ahead of myself, not thinking in the past, and that's all I can do.
What about taking stars on paper and making it a team and making it a cohesive and your chemistry and all of that? How's that process coming along?
I mean, that's kind of Coach Mulkey's job, to make us flow and figure out who plays well together, but also with me stepping into the 1, it's my job to learn all their tendencies and their personnel and be able to get them the ball, people the ball where they're very successful. So I think and we've already started to figure out, is where each of us shoot the ball at a very high percentage, where each of us can pass really well, like what spots on the floor, and keep those people in those spots. And you know, I think that we're starting to figure that out. And you can look at the star power and question it, but we're committed to making it gel and making it work, and we're all happy for each other. So.
Are you enjoying the culture shock of South Louisiana and Baton Rouge?
I love the food down here. The humidity is crazy. I thought I knew like humid when I was in Louisville for 3 years. It's a little bit humid. It's not the same down here. I'm like sweating at 7 a.m. right out of bed, but I love it. I have no complaints.
If anything, I'm sorry, if anything, the version of Hailey Van Lith in an LSU uniform, how will it be different than the Hailey Van Lith version in a Louisville uniform? Or will it be the same?
I think I could say both. I will be the same in the fact that my playing style is probably going to be the same. The way that I approach the game every day will be the same. How that looks on the court might look a little different, but my mentality, the way that I'm gonna come to practice every day, come to every game ready to compete, ready to do what I do well, that's never gonna change. But also I think that I have a great opportunity to learn and grow here. So we'll see the ways that I change. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I guess how much of that went into your decision-making process that your game, what it was, is going to be different on paper at the end of the game now? And like how much did you have to reconcile that? I'm not going to have as many points. I'll have more assists. I'll maybe be a bigger factor to a different team. Did you kind of play that out in your mind?
No, I would say, me personally, I'm very confident in what I bring to a team and what I can do on the court. And so, the amount of shots I'm going to get, the amount of minutes I'm going to play, not super important to me. It's more, I know that when I'm on the court, I can control what I can control. And I think the amount of minutes I play, the amount of times I get to shoot, that all is going to be determined by the attitude that I take. And ultimately, I just want to make great plays. And I think that a lot of people didn't realize that at Louisville, because a lot of times the right play was for me to shoot. And, it is what it is. But here, a lot of times the right play is for me to kick it when I draw two people. So I'm just looking to make right plays, and whether that's a shot, whether that's a pass, whether that is standing in the corner and letting Angel go one-on-one, I'll do it. I'm willing to do all of it.
What are you seeing in Michaela Williams? How bright is her future?
It's very bright. Yeah, she's very talented. Very strong. Can pass, can score at 3 levels. So it's very rare to see a freshman with that type of skill level.
Hailey, it looks like the WNBA is finally expanding. So what do you think that means for overall just state of women's basketball?
Yeah, I think it'll be great. We're gonna get to see more rookies stay on teams, and we'll get to see that youth talent be developed, have opportunities, the platform is the biggest coming out of college, so hopefully we can get that crossover more and get more fans to follow players from college to the WNBA now that more rookies are going to have the opportunity to make rosters. We'll see.
How much fun is it playing with talented bigs like Angel and Anissa?
I mean, it gets me a lot of easy assists, I will say. I appreciate about them. And anytime I miss, I don't get yelled at because they clean it up. So we score anyways. Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
The outside narrative has been, wow, LSU has a lot of personalities, whatever that means. That just popular players who are used to scoring a lot.
I think exactly what you said is, whatever that means. Like, whatever that means. I don't know what that means. Like, big personalities. I feel like a lot of people are giving opinions, whether they're good or bad, about our team, and they're expecting us to take them into account. And I think it's up to us whether we even take it into account. And there's opinions saying that we're going to be the best team ever for women's basketball, and there's opinions saying, big personalities. So I think, once again, there's always going to be an opinion. There's going to be extremes that are for us and extremes that are against us, and it's up to us to let it affect us or not.
We've got time for just a couple more before she has to run.
How can Kim get you better?
It's a great question. I think she can challenge me from a leadership standpoint. You know, I've always been a great leader, but I think there's a different type of leadership when you're playing the one. And so I think, you know, getting me to understand that change in leadership style and understanding how to really run a team, and a team with so much talent is where she can really help me.
You talked about what people assume. People say they got all these stars.
Yeah.
Coaches have all these egos to deal with.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of great athletes say, of course I have an ego. If I didn't, I wouldn't be good. So how is that dynamic right now with all of you? And are there egos? Or are there things to manage? Or?
You know, I think we're all human. Everyone has their day where, you know, they might be feeling like they're not playing well. It happens to me, it happens to everybody. But the thing about us is we bounce back the next day. And one thing I will say is that's what Coach Kim is really good at. You know, she's a great coach. She can manage personalities. So I trust her. She's going to make sure everything works out.
Last question.
Yeah, Hailey, what were your impressions of Angel Reese before you got here, and how have they evolved since you've been able to kind of have her as a teammate?
Yeah, my impressions of Angel before, you know, just watching her from the outside is I really loved her energy. I think, I can't remember, one of the games she did one of her like patented celebrations. I literally DM'd her and I was like, I love that. Like, that's the type of like personality on the court that I can relate to. Like, I love that competitive energy. Like, she doesn't care, and I love that about her. I mean, I thought she was a great competitor. I think she does what she does well, the best in the country. She's an amazing rebounder. How it's changed since I've got here, you know, I think I've enjoyed getting to see our friendship develop. I think she's a great leader. You know, she cares about her teammates, and I think a lot of people on the outside that aren't here every day, you know, try to make us seem selfish, or we all have our own thing going on and we're not dedicated to this team. And I think it's really the opposite. You know, she's a great leader. She cares about everybody. She's the first person to pick you up if you're missing shots, if coach is on you a lot. So yeah, I think that's something that I wish more people would get to see, that side of her.
Expand is going to double, and I see it being really big in the future.
What do you think we'll see different with you this year?
I think you see me a lot more under control. You know what I mean? And just being where I'm supposed to be, making a spot. I have a lot more experience in playing. You know what I mean? Because I had that year, and I play every game, so I should know better. You know what I'm saying? In certain situations, so it's going to be a difference in that.
Did you have a moment during the summer or whatever where it really hit you what you guys accomplished last year?
Man, it hit me like right after, because like it was like a lot of hard work that went into that. I pushed myself beyond limits that I thought I had, and I just have to do that same thing again and be able to give what I can to my team, because I know they're gonna come, so I gotta make sure I come, and so we'll have that same feeling again. It's nothing better than winning a championship. Like, I had SEC freshman of the year, that was dope, but winning a championship was so much better.
Are you settling in? A lot was made last year about how little you slept and everything that you had on your plate. Now you're going into year two. Have you felt that you're starting to really manage your time more closely and cut things back, or are you still at the same breakneck speed as last year, as your freshman year?
I think I kind of like toned it down a little bit, which I'm about to stop doing, really, because it's not getting me the results that I wanted to get. I felt like I was saying, like, you know, I don't want to hurt my body. You know what I'm saying? But the more work I do, it's just going to be the more recovery that I do. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to cut back and miss an opportunity or miss a, you know, something like that. So that's just going to be me holding myself accountable. My work ethic's always been there, but I have to turn it up another notch again, for sure.
When you're saying cut back, is it the basketball part of it, or is it everything that you do?
No, it's just like the load. Like, you know, when I do work extra, I do a lot. You know what I mean? Like, instead of making probably like 200 shots, I try to make 1,000 shots. You know what I'm saying? Every time I'm in the gym. So, you know, just cutting down a little bit on that and trying to just be more intentional.
But what about the rap? How do you manage that along with that? Do you work in spurts with that? Or are you like a guy that work? Or do you work best with deadlines, or you're just whenever you get inspiration?
It's a little bit of both, because I have deadlines on a lot of other stuff. But musically, when I make music, that's gonna be spur of the moment type of thing. Whenever I feel like, wow, that just came to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because The music comes natural when my basketball is doing well. So when I'm like, I don't know why, but when I'm clicking in basketball and I'm waking up at 5 a.m. and I'm doing my workouts, it starts coming naturally to me more on the music side. So
it's like a clear-headed component.
Exactly.
They feed into each other.
They feed into, like they intertwine in a way. So like I know when I'm not, I have writer's block, when I'm not able to do nothing on the music side, I gotta be like it on my basketball side because my mind isn't there.
You said at the regional in Greenville that you knew in the summer that y'all had a special team.
Yeah.
What have you seen this summer leading into this season?
Leading this season, it's on us if we don't win. You know what I mean? Like, we have Kim Mulkey, we have the coaching staff, we have the pieces. It's on us. Everything is on us. Like, we got to realize, like, it's us. It's ours to lose. You know what I mean? And nobody expected us to do it last year, but now we're going to probably come in #1, and they're going to expect it, and it's ours to lose.
Michaela's in the spot that you were in last year. What advice do you have for her? Are you seeing any differences between you as a freshman and her?
Yeah.
In the way she carries herself?
Yeah, it's a big difference for her. Like, she's ready. Like, you know what I mean? She's really ready, and she has this self-confidence. Like, you know, she's just a baller. You know what I mean? And I told her, like, I want freshman of the year, nothing less. You know what I mean? I was like, I got SEC freshman of the year. I want you to get national freshman of the year. Like, she's that good. So I just push her, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, be better. Like, be better. Like, I'm going to lead you, but you got to be better. And, we did that in the summer. And I just been pushing her. She been pushing me, making me better. Taking from her skill set. She taking from my energy. So it's been good. She's going to be a great player in this league.
Does she look like a freshman to you?
No. She's built like a senior. Like, she has an unbelievable body. She can big you up. You know what I'm saying? She can shoot the ball, shoot the midi. Her midi is insane. So,
how physical y'all been getting? Hailey was over there a little while ago. She had bruises all over. Y'all been get physical in practice?
Yeah. Shout out Izzy. Nah, it's unbelievable. We super competitive. Get into it on the court. Shake hands when we get off. You know what I mean? Like, but that's what happens when you got a little dogs on the team.
Flau'jae, people are going to either love you guys or hate you. Either they're going to want to beat you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, y'all going to get everyone's best shot.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you did a lot of times last year, but how are y'all prepared for that?
A little bit of both. I think we are prepared for it because of kind of the, you know, what we seen last summer. We seen a lot of hate in the media. We seen a lot of hate from teams. We seen a lot of love as well, though. But we know that it's a target on our back every game. Like, every game is going to be their championship game because they want to beat us and go on social media and do all of that. So we have to have a solid foundation so, you know, we don't fall.
Is there any games on the schedule that you're looking forward to the most, whether it's the early trips, you know, the islands or whatever it might be? Or is there something you're looking for in the spring the most?
No, I'm just looking forward to that first exhibition game, like whenever we touch the floor and then go from there. I think that our first official game is Colorado, but we can't take the exhibition game lightly either. Like, every time we get on the court, I want to demolish.
You probably heard what some people are saying. There's so much talent on that team, so many superstars. How is Coach Mulkey going to manage all these egos?
Yeah.
Do you have an ego? And is it, you know, most superstars? Yeah, of course I got one. I mean, I wouldn't be good if I didn't. So how does that all work with team chemistry?
What do you define as like ego? Like, what's your definition of ego?
Well, I guess they say he or she has a big ego. They think they're, you know, they're great, or maybe they think they're better than someone else, or he's got a big ego. He won't pass to that guy. Those are the kind of things, I guess. I mean, just
I think if you say ego in that way, I think everybody here has a ego because all of these are great players. But like when you bring all great players together and you bring ballers together, they're gonna make the right play. You know what I mean? Like Coach Mulkey was talking today, like reverse the ball. Like you can get a good shot, but you can get a better assist. You know what I mean? So and Coach Mulkey, she always emphasized, I'm the alpha male. Like I'm the alpha dog in here. Like we don't have I'm the alpha dog. You know what I mean? So she really just put us in our place, honestly, just like she did last year. We had a lot of personalities last year. We got a lot this year, but we all know that we're trying to win a championship. And so whatever it takes.
If you've improved as a player and the team is better than, let's say hypothetically better than last year, but individual numbers statistically aren't what they were last year for each person. Does it matter if the game, if the team is better, then it could be better than last year?
If we win, like statistics don't matter. Like Coach Mulkey already said, like it's going to be a lot of sacrifice this season because we have a lot of great players and we have to be pulling for each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I'm ready to do. Like, I don't care if I score 0 points, but I get 10 rebounds. Like, I got 10 rebounds. Or I got 5 assists. You know what I'm saying? And somebody else got 30. Like, we're winning games. We won a championship. I won a championship. So whatever I got to do to win that championship, I'm going to do.
How much stuff did you do from like April the 2nd until like July? I mean, was it just a whirlwind? I mean, April
the 2nd through the 7th, I was turned up. And then I had exams, so I had to chill out. But, I had a time of my life. I had a ball. We were so celebrated. Like, everybody was just giving us our flowers. So I had fun, and I lived in that. And, but I had to get back on track.
You know, the famous thing in football has always been when LSU's won national championship in football, that they come back and they've been on the they call it the banquet circuit, and you're out eating steak dinners every night. I mean, you have to had to guard against that because all of a sudden, you know, you start putting on weight or whatever, and you're like, man, I better back off of this because I'm gonna get out of shape.
Yeah, but I needed to get me some weight on me, so that all worked. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get
so that's all good.
Trying to get a little big, so I was eating a little healthy though, 5-star restaurants and full course meals. But now I came here and I came back early because I felt y'all, I got to get back in the gym. I lied to my mama. I was like, Mama, Coach Monkey said it's mandatory that we get back, so I can't stay. I'm sorry. And I was here for a month straight, just leaving on the weekend. So I knew what I had to do. I knew that coming from that long break, that it was gonna have to be a difference. So I just came back and worked with the freshmen.
Angel said that Jay-Z and Beyonce knew who she was.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like, little mind, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, did you have a moment like that during the off season, or?
Yeah, that was a Lil Wayne moment for me, man. Like, he was like, "I want to bless you with a verse on my track," and we actually got it done this summer. So that moment right there, I was like, Lil Wayne, like the Lil Wayne, want to do a song with me, and we actually did it. Yeah, we already recorded it, so.
When does it drop?
I'm gonna drop it on my album. I'm gonna save that. That just came to just drop out of nowhere. I'm gonna drop that and be strategic with that.
Mike was kind of asking you about it, but hopefully you win all your games. Right?
Yeah.
But if you go on the road and you lose one, they may like rush the floor and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
yeah.
So you're playing now like maybe the villain?
Yeah. I think we playing more the person with the target on that back. That's how we playing. Like, everybody want to beat you. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be like a celebration for us to lose. You know what I'm saying? So I think we should use that as like motivation. It should be like, wow, like we really that. You know what I mean? Instead of taking it another way. So I think that it's going to...
Y'all like a traveling show last year.
Yeah, like...
So how much bigger might that be this year?
Oh, it's going to be huge. It's going to be sold out. Every game that we played, the crowd got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Every game. You know what I'm saying? Then the Final Four happened, it was sold out. So, like, I think this year people want to see it, so they're going to come out.
But it's the aspect after the game where y'all come back out of the locker room.
Yeah,
and
man. We
got
got to
girls there to sign and...
Yeah, we're going to have security this year, like a lot of security. Yeah. But I be excited to see the little girls because they be so happy. And I never know what I could do. One touch, one talk, one word of inspiration could change the whole trajectory of how they feel about themselves and their motivation. So I always try to make sure I take every picture I can, sign every autograph.
Is that something that's really stood out to you? I mean, just the effect that you could have?
Yeah.
Young girls watching y'all from wherever?
Sometimes you don't know how you really can affect people. Your words, your actions, how you look when you come out of the game. You know what I'm saying? A timeout, anything. They looking at you at all times, you know what I mean? So I just want to try to be a good role model for them, for sure.